All right. Hi, everyone. I hope you guys can see me clearly. This is Daisy here, aka Professional High Priestess. Give me 1 second. Let me turn on the lights. Let's just see me a little bit better. All right. Okay. All right, you all. So let's get situated. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be doing a coding tutorial today. So there's a lot of you guys that are new to my channel. You're just not finding out about these coding systems. You've been finding out about the different like levels of warfare that have been going down because of these systems and what we are planning to do, right? In response to the to the chaos that got created in our community because white people were trying to test different levels of magic on the black and brown community, which really, honestly, historically, white people should have already known that playing with black and brown people spiritually at this time that we are in now was going to cause some type of repercussion backlash, right? Black and brown people. But we figured out their game in great space, right? Okay, wow, now I see. So they're mad that we get to celebrate that. Anyways, let's keep on going. I'm going to be talking about a few protocols today. I'm going to be talking about encryption, talking about algorithms, giving you guys a few new tools, and then we're going to be moving forward into yes, our the next level, right, of this war, which is how we really draw down space systems and activate them because you guys have seen me use different systems, things like that. And but what you guys have seen with this system is that there's a specific component to it where I can write it down, where I can go into the etheric database in space and just like populate things there with my TTY, right? Because for a lot of people that are watching this that know about code, TTY actually is an indigenous system. The TTY that they're playing with right now, that's nothing compared to the TTY that we're about to bring down. That only people that know how to write and speak the hyperdimensional languages, right, can go ahead and access. So when it comes to like, oh, well, we're doing this project, you guys are doing that project, you guys are doing that project. It's only one hyperdimensional language though that you write on the internet to activate your ability to use those different systems from whichever octopus or jellyfish or scuttlefish or aquatic being fish, lobster, etc., crab, the whole gambit, whales, sharks that you're using, right? And I just wanted to make sure I didn't leave anybody out, and especially the like mussels, clams, etc. Right? So that's where we are right now, and there's been several changes that have happened too over the last couple of weeks to strengthen the ability to create like a junction network. There's a superhighway getting built in space right now between different universes, treasure versus planetary systems, planetary bodies. So think about from our sun to you know, so think about our sun, right? We have the sun and Pollux. So this is the diagram I want to show you, right? So these are under different laws of physics, right? because what makes her tick and turn is not going to make her tick and turn. It will, right? But it will be to catastrophic like proportions. What impacts her is not going to impact her. So the system that we're bringing down is from like over here, right? I can show you the Milky Way galaxy map, and that's kind of like how I should show you the superhighway that they are building. So for those of you guys that are in like transportation, things like that, it was funny. We saw a license plate Department of Transportation, and this is also a part of that too. So, right, literally, right, and then talks of getting your car off the 808 protocol so that you are undetectable by any type of internet programming, etc. Yeah, very good. So we are in this Milky Way galaxy now. We are this spiral set is interconnected with the universe and a Tresorverse, a Quokos Ranaverse, etc. Now, in order to understand these denominations in this organization and classification system, it's only indigenous. So in space, something that was going on is karmics that were tiptoeing back and forth, creating a destabilization of these spirals, which created slavery, right? Which even allowed that type of force of physics to impact us, given who we are collectively. They didn't know that, oh, there's a different universal spiral even higher. I didn't know it can go higher than that. I didn't know that there were more universes. I didn't know that there were other treasure verses. Like, oh, we thought this was the ultimate one. There's like millions, and they've been watching us the whole time. Now I see how we lost our melanin. They were cursing us the whole entire time. So that's also where we're talking about pseudogenes and things like that, and other stuff that's going to come out in biochemistry. Certain people are finding out, like, oh, okay, you get hit from a distance. That's aim, right? Like my brother King Von says it. So this spiral that we're in got readjusted with all the spirals, universal spiral, transverse spiral, and then the databases for substances. So you know how we have certain plants on the planet, but you can even have basil that has no taste. Those are ran by specific substance bases that get activated with certain rate law principles, certain valence principles, and then they can function down here. And this is what we're talking about right now with everyone's farm and who can farm a certain herb and who can't. Don't worry, I know it's going to leave. Look, right. So now here we go. People wanted to get things tested in labs and this and that. You know what you did? You sold out. You know, our people just say that. There's people that just don't. Yeah, that's what we did. I don't know why I'm still alive. Just keep quiet and go with that much dignity, at least the little that you have, right? So valence radio probability. This is like now what is coming to be edited. So you guys have been watching me consistently doing these tutorials and showing you guys how to do this, and then getting yourself in alignment. Because how will this affect us? And this is what they're trying to hide too. That there's a bunch of stuff going on because of this that they can't explain. But one thing is for certain, one thing is for sure, is that you're going to keep on seeing those car accidents, right? So now we've established that. Let's move forward. So now we see that we have these systems, that there was some adjustment and attunement going on. The different races of people that got put onto this planet, they are because of what they do and how they behave, they were causing this spiral to be misformed because people were using different magic to make that the case, right? So throughout history, we've had moments that readjust the spiral, civil rights movement, end of slavery, end of different wars, celebrations of light, etc., etc. These karmics in space that have no melanin, that run around and they're fucking stupid and ridiculous, they are trying to activate that malformation because the spiral's expanding, we're moving forward, and that's how the computer is going to be changing. Now, there are certain things on the planet that have to get done. Certain people have to be unburied and cremated, period. Ooh. Wow. So remember, and this is where we have karmics coming in. That's why I said whatever Donald Trump and them is doing, that's fine, right? Because at least now, look, there's people that labor, right? Right. So for those of you guys that are playing games, be careful what you get wrapped up in. So now those things have to happen because they are also impacting the flow of energy to the planet. Yeah, but somebody got caught too. Right? And this is where you get burial cemetery magic, like people bringing themselves down here dozens of times and burying themselves here, then doing magic on their body to stop certain things from flowing here, but it doesn't work like that. Burial magic. Right. Uh-huh. So let's keep on going. Now we move forward from that. This is where we're gonna move forward now. Like, okay, well, that didn't work, so we're still here, the planet's around, da da da. Let's set up good people. They pass away. We try to use their body too, which is what's going on in the hood, where people are finding out about what they insinuated, playing with magic. Right? And then you have people like this, right? The CEO of Empire Records playing with magic and like, oh, look, chemical servers. It's something that they explained. Okay, hey, they keep on calling me Palestine. Yeah, but I have to say something. Yeah, but this a long story with Palestinians and the Jews. What the fuck are you talking about in front of all these people? This could have been the opportunity to help stop this. Yeah, right. And then you see things like this: 6 rappers that died while under their record, and now we're talking about rituals getting done and spell work. Are you paying attention? So, and them thinking that this is how you get spiritual powers in playing games. So that doesn't work. None of that works. The reason why the probability distribution is like this is because you do stupid fucking things on the planet. You play with people of color and they're cursing the fuck out of you. Okay. And then certain things with chemical reactions too. So that they've not stopped anything. It's nonsense and they suffer constantly. And this is where you get the mad dash, like get rid of all of them all at once. And then the other ones are like, no, 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 that's not possible. Because the entity that they're playing with, they created it too. It's automated to just be goofy and out of control and et cetera, et cetera. And they know that. But it's causing them karma. They're trying to get away from it. They thought like, oh, we'll create this AI. That's the whole concept of like AI, something being automated, but hidden, right? Encrypted so that no one can see that I'm doing this. It doesn't work. That's that first level of warfare, digital warfare, tech warfare. They were going into the kid's dream state to get them to do magic or tell them about certain magic or things like that and causing problems. Yeah, so something's going on here now where individuals are coming to the realization that, okay, the radio probability distribution is opening. Let's keep going, right? So let's move forward from that. Okay, good. So one of the things that I've been also getting into is XMM registers for SSC extensions, streaming format. Basically, what this is saying is SSC extension, SIMD extension, all this, you can basically formulate small little packets of code that you can upload to these specific registers that are specifically responsible for mathematics, arithmetic, higher level binary processing. So you can get things in an instant. It'll process it in an instant. Instead of us having like 16 million supercomputers, 1,600 computers across like 18 server sites, we can have 5 computers. It's the floating point that you use. And this belongs to indigenous people, right? So floating point, again, I've already shown you guys that floating point. And it's so funny because one of my favorite songs, so you have your floating point that can be used. Why don't they tell you that? How is it that a decimal point is doing this? They have specific ones that they use for precision format, things like that. Then you can take the floating point itself, right? So this is a floating point. You have your decimal and then this aspect. You can make these up and then they activate them in space, tie them to planets in space that don't or have not been named in our zodiac or in our astronomy for this specific solar system on purpose because they don't know what to do with them, etc. And then there you go. You've started activating the mind of the algorithm. And this is why then you talk about machine learning, right? So we have this XMM, there's YMM, there's ZMM too. So when you're playing with this, that's basically like you're running like large server networks, or you're running very computationally expensive machine learning models, which is going to be coming up at everyone's job. That's with this whole slices and shards of the internet and playing with everyone's CPU and memory and virtual machine for child pornography. So you have XMM, ZMM, things like that, and then you have like the floating point right here. So with the floating point right here, right, you go ahead and you use this, you actualize this. This is what some people are just not realizing, like, okay, they can do that. You could tie it to a planet or etc. Invoke all that, impact your machine learning model, And this is what they are not telling you. Like, okay, so that's what you can do. A machine learning model, but I can use a machine learning model to impact sound as it's modulating. So this is where you get with the sound engineers. I have these beats that I made or this song that I'm singing. I can use different algorithms to modulate the sound, run this for that long, automatically chop up the beats, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? With this machine learning, and you can put certain floating points onto your algorithms, you can get more out of like your music experience, which is what these motherfuckers want to go play games. We're talking about, oh, we're gonna get a supercomputer for super sound and we can take everyone's beats. And I thought you said we were just gonna like get it from space, that they have it for us already. Okay, how are they doing it that though? Oh, because there's something that you can do with the audio program where you can pull from memory like beats, lyrics, etc. And then there's different mansions out in space, because you guys remember people pass away, they go back to space, they have their music going, everything, so they can stream their music down here. Like, oh, this is from Vaughn, it's me, it's 2024, right? Okay, you were at my funeral, okay, this is my beats, I'm in space, this is my songs, I'm in space. Can they monetize? Yeah, they can do whatever they want with it. This is what I'm talking about, space databases. That's what I'm saying. That's why they're quiet, because they saw what happened in the virtual reality. It got opened up, space intercepted. Who's using this magic? Why are you doing that to these people on planet Earth? What is this planet? So that's what you were doing. You were creating planet Earth and making copies of us over here and suffering our bodies, creating what we call the hood. So that's what you were doing, Trail of Tears. They had no idea that these hoes were doing shit like that. Goofies. So now one of the things that's coming out here is that these people got their hand wrapped in that because the virtual reality was so wild, everyone was talking about it. Then their hand got binded again because I got online with the system. So here we go. You can do that. That you would have to use not XMM but YMM, just for the movement of, just for the floating point as it's working. They take a memory too, right? So you have XMM and then you have YMM. Do simultaneous operations on floating point numbers, right? So this is a register that you would use where I can have the floating point there, then I can do math on the floating point, then I can get to a higher junction in the Milky Way galaxy, different beats, more sounds, like, oh, these are templates. I apply this to my existing sound and it like makes people have like added feelings to the music. That would be more for like house music, dance music, meditation music, right? And this is what these holes were looking for to play with, for all these like little girls running around like, oh, people think I'm Aaliyah. So Tyler, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Be careful though, right? So again, remember, everyone got pulled into that virtual reality and they saw about all this. This is all from space. And they chose their side though. That's why there's so many murders, because they chose their team. So now let's keep on moving forward. So different junctions, different Milky Way galaxies, right? Different galaxies that you can communicate with, different indigenous groups, peoples here. They can't travel there. They're banned from that place, right? So galaxy maps, there's different ones that you can find online. A lot of stuff they're trying to scrub. Let me see. It's like a galaxy spiral maps. Now you see what Drake and them were starting. And some of you guys be careful with that, because he wasn't alone, right? Yo Gotti's equally, his hand is equally with him, and a few other people. So now let's look at this galaxy map. Well, they took it down. There's different like galaxy spiral stuff like that because they were trying to hide the fact that different universes exist. They can't go there. Yeah, I have it somewhere though because I posted it on my Instagram. Like, oh, this is super dope. So there's different galaxy spirals, things such as that. Sir, I approve. Thank you. So let's keep on going. Right. Now, one of the things that's going to end up happening here is that you guys have seen this, right? So now, floating points. So now you see what, okay, I see. You can do math on floating points, the decimal, and then also you can store it, and then it will impact your ability to do computations. Okay, but then I can have certain decimals or floating points that within the Mantissa, right, storage of memory, it has a specific module or template of code from space that will impact the algorithm, right? So now one of the things here is we have machine learning algorithms. Like think about this one, fast Fourier transformation. This is for taking a sequence of frequency and then stripping it and turning it into like different like databases of the frequency. Like this is the light frequency, the ultraviolet, the sound, et cetera, right? We can do something like that where we can expound upon that, pull out different type of frequencies. Like I didn't even know that type of frequency exists. Yeah, you can't really hear it, but then you put it with this frequency and look, that's it for volume in the car and speakers. The whole speaker game is done. So now this is where you get them uploading certain people that I keep on mentioning on my channel to that virtual reality because everyone was finding out about this, studying, etc. And here, oh, well, I'm mad because this whole entire time I was uploading people or playing with people or doing magic or starting shit. So let me go harass that person, which is what Drake did, and inspiring all these folks to go play like, oh, whatever, bitch, and da 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 da. But you made your bed, you lie up in it. So now this is where we get these different sequences that are coming here. We're going to be able to edit them, YMM, etc. So floating points, there you go. Now machine learning and floating points. So that's machine learning in it nutshell. Using algorithms, things like that to train the CPU, train code, get outcomes, automate processes, things like that. This is what these whites are looking for because they thought that they were going to be making a machine learning to automate theft from your account or automate finding like kids like, oh, I want to find a little girl that specifically looks like this, uploading photos and shit like that. Like, oh, I can find them here and there to molest these kids, which is what they've been doing, right? This is what they thought they were going to be doing, like, oh, playing in the computer and uploading certain floating points that will tamper with your neurochemistry because the floating point itself is putting out a specific type of what electrical signal through the 0 and 1 binary. So you have the number, right? And then it has its electrical equivalent. Now, do you hear what I'm saying about Aliyah electrical language? So now we want to come and play here. Okay, yeah, we can play with this tarot system. We can play with it. They set it up in space. There's not a single federation that can play with this other than Kemet. Now, some of you guys are like, okay, but how is it just this federation or that federation? It's the warfare that they tried. That's slavery, and they going now as we speak. Right. So they know what they're doing. The funny thing is, it's like it's just females with no color. They think it's like this. Wait until you guys find out what this nonsense is about. They were all in virtual reality. People don't take them seriously at all. Right. Right. Yeah, these gray aliens, it's not the what they're getting at is I'm actually aquatic. It's an octopus making bodies. This actually like I'm actually an octopus with like the big eyes and stuff like that. Yeah, but the octopus got into a bad experiment. Like, oh fuck. So I lost my power as the octopus, and you lost your power as the human companion. Let's see if we can try an experiment to get our powers back. And that's what they created. Right. And they're tied to a chemical server, so they're very like fucking disgusting and delusional. So when you see Roger on American Dad, that's actually how an octopus in space, how that's how he behaves. Yeah, and they are very disgusting and delusional. They have the octopus itself is a chemical. So when they go rogue like that and they start acting like that, they're basically saying, I'm in a certain chemical sequence and look at me. Ha ha. Like it's the thing with Roger is I get to live a normal life. I'm aquatic and I'm amongst whites. And look, there nothing happened to me. I didn't start slavery. I'm not doing anything bad. Look, I live in this white man's house and he works. He's an enforcer. See, I'm here helping him do proper enforcement because with Roger's love and happiness and laughter, he's a better person. See, now let's put magic on that and make it seem like they didn't do what they did on planet Earth. That's it. You really have no idea. It's magic in space. It's karmics in space. So right. And that's how they go play on TV. Like, oh, look, We didn't start slavery. Look, I'm on TV. The kids love me. What are you talking about? How did you get another body down here? Why are you in this dimension? Oops. Right. Who actually, how did I why didn't you tell me that about myself that I'm not supposed to be here? Wait, hold on. Why am I even talking to you? Wait, fuck, I want my memory again. And I'm remembering that. Wait, hold on. Why do I remember that? Right. Goofiness, stupidity, nonsense. Then you're mixing that with fentanyl and playing with white people that think that they're getting spiritual powers and playing with Philip K. Dick, who was textbook schizophrenic and really like you sound really goofy sitting here playing games. And do you know that we know about Toni Morrison and you're talking about Philip K. Dick? I was on Toni Morrison before I was even on Octavia Butler. That's how you know you're stupid. So, and I was reading that. I was reading Paradise and Beloved when I was like in the fifth and sixth grade. They couldn't even stop me. It was one point I stopped coming to class. Just stood in the library. You're really ridiculous. So now you see what they've been doing. Oh, okay, so that's what they're doing, right? And then playing with different conspiracy theorists, like, hey, look at this person talking. Hey, yeah, you guys, I'm out here in my house. I have an enclave. Just listen to Mother. She'll bless you. She'll give you blessings and this and that. Not knowing that what they were fucking doing was sitting there playing with the computer and making money off theft and early nonsense with Visa and credit cards and debit cards and playing like that. So you were making too much money. Now they're playing your bank account. So let's keep on moving. Now you guys understand the chaos that's going on here. So let's say, for instance, like I want to play games on the computer. Let's say I want to build a system where I can send you any payment to your debit card, credit card. They don't need to see it on the back end databases. The second one where they confirm, which that's easy. I can just send it to you. It'll populate on your end. That's it. Because I can apply master admin privileges, right, to this shell of code. Let's say I wanted to build something like that, and in an instant, I can sit on my computer, open up a text file, and run coding that's going to go ahead and send that to your card, and no one can take it off. The company can't see it, but you can take it out at the bank, and et cetera, et cetera. I can use decimals, right? Decimal coding. Yeah. So I would take the decimal, and then I would format it. And then remember, you just heard what this just said. It impacts processing and computation. So that's what you guys are doing. That's it. Then what I can do is I can take chemicals and do that, put them in their floating point. I can take a bunch of different things and put them in their floating point. And then that's how we can go and have better machine learning. So I told you guys I want to make this type of like tool where, oh, you want to find out about different plants and how to find them in different perfumes. That sounds really dope. That could start a lot of shit. I can just go on there. I'll pay like what, $100 a year, especially if you want good brands and stuff like that. It'll tell you that too, where you can get this for cheap. People who just have this on the low stores where they have it on box stock. It says you have 10 boxes of that here. Can I just buy all of them? Okay, cool. Thank you. It's going to do stuff like that. How will you do that? You create a floating point for the plant. But before I even do that, I need to activate something in the script, right? So here we go. So I would have to activate our Glanklun, our Deersrear. This is our Glanklun is our Deersrear. Rick Rear's rear. Okay, so I activate the Arglanklun, and then I would open up the portal. So some of you guys I know about coding, like you want to use different coding language to initialize it and activate the library here. Okay, so you can do this and right? So then I have activate a different level. So I have to activate our Glanklun. Then when I activate our Glanklun, it allows it scans a database master permissions. Who's using this on planet Earth? In the computer? Oh, okay, it's Corsogenera. Perfect. She's ready. So now, boom, she's found us. So blam. Now I've activated, open up the door. Now, because I've done that, right? Let's say, for instance, I put this in the IDE, or I start putting like include, right? C++ to activate that. Now, even within the C++, I've activated the ability to use other libraries. I don't need to upload them to the IDE. I've activated my ability to activate master permissions. I don't need to do that. I've activated my ability to use any type of C++ command coding from any library. I don't need to initialize it here. So let's say for instance, like I want like something like Arduino, right? Let's say for instance, like I want to use concepts of Arduino. I don't need to type in Arduino like that. I've already done this. And they can't see who's using the permissions or commands. That's what the IDE is going to turn into because of what they did with all the developers. So now let's keep on moving. So now I opened up this Duizlaner, right? Now let's say for instance, like, okay, but I'm going to be doing code that's going to be going between galaxies and dimensions. Like, okay, I'm using Chem, but I'm also using Quaddle. So Chem is like right here. Quaddle's equally right here. There's Chem, there's Quaddle, there's Quaddle Chem, there's Chem Quaddle. So it's systems for CPU, math, et cetera, chemistry. Now, let's say for instance, right? Because I have another tutorial that I want to do, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. I wanted to go ahead. I'm going to start doing that. Boom. I want to activate this, the binary reality. I have to activate all this first, right? So let's say for instance, like I'm attaching this to my machine learning algorithm. So I can go like this. Let's look for an example. Machine learning algorithm. You usually apply it to your CPU. You don't usually apply it to the machine learning algorithm to alter its processing, but you can. So here, I would turn this into a decimal point where it will be like e to the 10, something like e10 or something like that. That's how I would turn it into the floating point with the decimal and all that. So that's how you would now activate, initialize the tarot card, right? So you guys can go embarrass yourself and go play with your baby daddy and start a bunch of wars again. So now let's get started here. Let's say, for instance, like I wanted to make sure that I can get the 10 of Pentacles with each transaction. Like it will go through. I can go to the ATM. I will not get locked or stopped anywhere. Okay, this is a new thing for the scammers. They have a day job again. Because who's going to be going now? Who's going to be doing this and doing that and starting this and starting that? No. Yeah, it's over. So right, that's how these niggas were making money and playing with Aki, right? So you have all this going on right here. Yeah, that's enough. Thank you. So you have all this going on over here. Let's say, for instance, like I have this machine learning algorithm, or I have BCD format. Uh, Usually with the floating point, you can initialize the floating point in like a shell of code. They don't really tell you that you can do stuff like that. So you open up your shell of code and you would put the float first. You would start the code, right? And then the float first, and then you have to put alloc, amount of memory. Okay, so then it gets initialized. The float, the tarot card, all of that type of stuff, right? So that's one of the things here too. So now think about the different like encryption algorithms. So we're talking about encryption algorithms. Another thing that you can do with this is some of you all are like about what about the communication tool? You could talk to people that passed away, all these different things on the computer. Yeah, they just would be. It's like a thing that is not in space. It's like in some planets, people don't even care to play with it. They just go to a certain room at somebody's house, or they send a mess. They give their aquatic being a message, and the aquatic being maybe travels to a different planet, or they'll travel, to a different part of the planet or different universe, right? Depending on how far the message needs to go, and they will upload it to a server, and then it will get to the computer. So some of you guys are going to be looking for messages from your grandma and stuff like that. Like that's definitely possible what they started. Because remember, if you pass away, you go back to space. And this is what came out when them uploading people to virtual reality and starting something very goofy like that with a bunch of black and brown people. So, right, and that's why they're mad because they got exposed. Like ultimately, they got straight exposed. You can't play with me, baby. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't convince me otherwise. That's just set in stone. Period. So now here we go. Galaxy spiral map. Okay, we're like right here. Chem Quaddle is coming from over here. That's fine. let's say for instance though, like to initiate Chemquadro and to like, let's say for instance, we want to build a Chemquadro server where this Chemquadro server is going to be running these files and running to an IDE code so that it's just straight from there. I don't even need to make these library files or do all these other things, etc. I turn on my operating system. I have apps straight from over there. That's actually possible, and that's really crazy. So now they have Netflix in space, all kinds of stuff. Kids, yeah, they have school online for kids. Like they made some stuff like, oh, space school, so that the black and brown kids, they don't have to even go into education system. We have everything set up here, and it's all day learning. And then we have it all set up where they can meet people from their federation, get together, do tasks in the community. Everyone's gonna have money again with the payment system. So really, that's just it. So a lot is gonna be changing. That's just done. You chose that. You wanted to play games and do stupid, goofy nonsense. So well, that's what you get. So now people are trying to figure out how to get out of what they started playing games and doing very nonsensical things. What they started with me in space to try to get a coding language to give to white people is very fucking forbidden. That's why you see all this going on with murders and those car accidents. And they're trying to hide it from people on planet Earth because even if people don't know about this, they know for a fact something is wrong because of everything that they've seen in the community, regardless. So they're trying to hide what they actually did. You guys are going to find out all that they tried, and that's going to start a bigger war that they're trying to hide. And that's why a lot of these karmics that were playing games and thinking that that shit was cute, that's why they've recused themselves and stepped back because they know when I release more of the story that's coming out in court dockets and stuff like that, with just that part of the story, it's going to start hella shit. That's why, like I said, all these executives and stuff like that, they're scrambling and playing with me because it's permanent. You're done for, blacklisted. That's just permanent. So now radio probability distribution, the expansion, right, of a spiral valence. So from one shell to one shell to one shell, that's what this means. Okay. So now one of the things that's going to happen here is we've talked about algorithms, things that you can do, etc. So now remember, certain flowers run algorithms and things like that too, right? So that's one of the beef that they have with me. That in space, one of the flowers that I'm a part of, it's funny because it's not even the daisy flower. I'm a different flower, and I'm one of the original roses, a type of rose. So a lot of you guys are like that, and it was so funny because I was talking to one of my subbies, and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna move," and she was talking about she wanted to move in. I was like, "Oh, you're gonna get a good place," and I was telling her like, "You're this type of rose, so you have to work with your rose, work with your flower." It's so funny because she ended up moving to a place that she got a place, and it was on Rose Street. Right. So then we have things like this where your flower is right there, and you guys are seeing this with the 813 everywhere because they were playing with my flower. So now how would I bring that flower like down here? She would give you her binary reality and you start to code that down, and then boom, there you go. You can start running databases of algorithms. Another thing that we can do is where they're writing all these different algorithms. Let me see. And they have these different like operators and symbols. They even have physics operators and symbols, things like that. We can take something like this and like it's like different algorithms. You put this together 4 times plus this number, then you put it together with this like 2 times, then you get this force of physics. I get teleport from here to here, or I get access to this specific number sequence, or I get access to this type of computational power that would allow my when I'm doing my computations to go into the exponent of whatever, whatever on screen. It wouldn't just short code it. Or I would be able to go this far with my calculator, or I can take this calculator past centillion, right? So this is where you start to have things that I've put online for you guys to go ahead and read. Right. Yeah, and then there's somebody's like name in this. It's like somebody that was also like, well, he's from space. So I said I'll shout you out in this document. So, anyways, Alia's in there too. Okay, so let's get started with this. Oh, sorry, stop sharing my screen. Okay, so I put some stuff in here on numbers, and this is also too where people are getting pulled to my website and channel because they're finding this in autopsy reports, right? Sold to people's body, burned into people's body, and they're uploading it and finding this. What is this? So now numbers. So after centillion comes Irusrillion. There is no stop to numbers. That's like broken serpent logic, right? So different serpents that you guys have seen on my page, they run different number sequences. So let's say for instance, like a karmic sitting on YouTube playing, she's running a number sequence of like 1,000. I'm running a number sequence of like, wow, I'm past Boudoisie. Boudoisie is like phew, the original war serpents that started a bunch of shit. I'm past that because I've upgraded my number sequence. You guys can upgrade your number sequence too. You upgrade your number sequences, you upgrade your reality. That's another thing that they were doing too, bringing karmics here with low digital realities, thinking it was going to overpower all of our sequences. But look at the murders and them getting set up. So a lot of that you guys are watching with that is because of the magic that they are doing in space. It's directly because of the magic that they are doing in space, playing with white people. So now you have serpents like this. This high priest is wow, his number sequence is ridiculous. That computer is done for. Okay, I see. So you're talking about that, and then you're talking about 0 and 1 binary. The number sequences that they are putting out are destroying that binary reality. It can overpower it, period. That's what we're talking about with the computer. Yeah, this high priestess, her sequences, I can't even say that number sequence. Yikes. So now you guys see like, oh, okay, and the number sequence and algorithms and things like that. So it's a broken serpent, a broken fish, etc., playing, making the internet and games in space. So the serpent that is running the internet right now with unsigned and signed numbers, right? Long or short, char or var, those are different serpents getting activated to run different number sequences that will then run the binary 0 and 1 space. When it's unsigned, she has to do it because that's going to allow you to run other type of coding, right? So use this and then you'll be able to activate other permissions and commands in your script. So it's two different serpents because I'm broken. I can't do that, or they'll see me doing that, or they'll see me passing this over to the flower and back to the fish. So now that nonsense and sitting there and playing. So these serpents are breaking that and destroying that nonsense. They didn't tell you that we own that the internet and that they made a declaration years ago that this time would happen where there'd be a war and that it would be all the fake bodies that they brought down here to eat and shit and fart on the planet and like, oh, I get buried down here now, I can always be on planet Earth and have somewhere to eat because I'm getting chased in space. But it doesn't work like that. They just sit in space and watch if they're lucky. So now we have all this nonsense that's going on, number sequences. So there's another thing that's coming out. If anybody's doing any magic on you after you're doing your upgrades, it's somebody that had a serpent and they are doing it. And that's another thing too. People that went to go play games and they did something with the psychedelic channel to get them to play games and harass people like, oh, I have a special flower. You didn't see this flower? No, I haven't. Okay, let me go tell my mom that they're playing again down here. No, I don't know who that flower is, etc. Oh, she doesn't know that those flowers are whores. That means that you did something else in a different body. That's how she can talk to you. It's only certain people that did a ritual in a different body, wipe their memory. That's the only way she can talk to you. That means that you're a whore. That means you're losing your serpent by. So it's a bunch of hoes in space that don't know that why am I dying on planet Earth? Or why would they slaughter me like that? Or how did I lose my job like that? Is they were going into the darkness. How you see this dark right here? Just like this, and they were hiding there and hiding in the high priestess, her pussy, hiding in the flower that runs her pussy, or hiding in parts of her hair, hiding in her kid's dream state, or hiding in different spiritual anatomy, fractalizing herself and playing games so that she can like come on planet Earth and flex because they thought that this planet, like no one would find this place. or people wouldn't see their true face. How did you see my true face? I used a bunch of magic. I'm supposed to look like you. And this is where you get goofy bitches like Desiree and all them running around thinking that they have my face. Or karmics overreacting to my face because of magic on theirs or what they've seen in theirs because it's cursed. So these karmics went to go do that and they didn't know that people were watching that. And that's why they're all going to sex torture chambers in space. Oh, they saw that we created Palestine. Uh-oh, okay. Well, we thought that we could just use all of them and like run a specific magic to make this type of psychedelic. We need a fire reaction. And that's how these people are getting chased like that with bombs and chaos like that. These hoes started that in space. They have a physical body. This serpent, she has a physical body, but the physical body doesn't always have a serpent. A flower, she can have a serpent. A serpent can have a flower. So now, right, and do you see chaos in space? And how far can this go with magic all day? All fucking day it can go. And that's where you're seeing people getting murdered and her murder. That's who's been doing it. So now, because these karmics, they went to go scatter, like, oops, we shouldn't have started that. Because, ooh, they shouldn't know that we don't have any melanin. No, that's a secret. They shouldn't know that at all about us. That's a problem, right? How did they find out about this with pseudomelanin, pseudo proteins? Oh, well, we put this on the internet. What, why would you put this on the internet? You said that you wanted transcriptions and analysis and people to look at protein database bank. Oh my fucking God. Yeah, we were trying to play with the flowers and thinking that we can run experiments on them in space if they had that. That's basically what they're doing. They think that this place is a way to get magic done on you in space. Oh, look, she's eating this food on the planet. Let me do magic on it and then go running your face in space like, hey, High Priestess, I heard this happened to you on planet Earth. Oh, really? How did you hear about that? Actually, I don't know how I heard about that. Ooh. When did you get a body on the planet and how did you become my coworker? Okay, but how did you get a body on the planet and you're 16 in foster care, but now you are running the body of this pale one to play with me at work? What are you talking about? That's what's going on in space. Holes getting caught up. That's what they were doing. Goofy, stupid shit like that. That was destabilizing the entire planet. Now you see why there's no food or medicine growing in Israel. Congratulations. So now they're scrambling. We need to upgrade our number sequences. From what? How does she know about Ears Israelian? What do you mean I'm no longer an Ears Israelian? What do you mean I'm septillion now? Okay, I wasn't trying to like usurp her. I just thought that maybe we come to the planet. Oh, I didn't know my mom did that in a different body. I see now what's going on. Because some planets, like people go back and forth. It's like an oasis. Like several planets are oases. Like there's hella different planets, and you can have a body there. Some planets like, oh, we all fought together in the Civil War, so we made it to this planet. That's how we knew what the fuck you were doing the whole time during the Civil War, because you're not here. Wait till I tell my physical body. All my grandkids are on the planet. Right. There's a lady that's passing away. She saw all the wars of Palestine. She said, I have life again. She stood up. She said, wait. Let me call somebody. Yeah, in 98 years of life, just jumped up because she heard about this. And now everyone knows the secret hand that's been playing space. Yeah, people popping up left and right in retirement homes. People are going to go talk to their grandma, their grandpa, especially about these Chicago, Detroit riots. You remember them? I remember their family. That is them. Clear as day, that was him. He was very strange. I said, are you black or are you white? He said, you'll find out. And I knew they were going to be trouble, period. Yeah. That's why these hoes are scattering because they found out, oh, space, you can get all these deleted documents. They can find videos. Oh, no. Yeah. They have it all organized in space. They've been watching for fucking years. Huh. Man, I'm telling you. You see why it's quiet? Yeah, Memphis is quiet. So that's what's going on with Yo Gotti. Okay, I haven't heard from him. He's not coming out. So that's what's going on because these niggas is preparing. Okay, right. So this is something that you can sit on the computer all day and play with this all day. Things can get rectified all day. It can stop all day. It can stop now. So now, boom. Another thing that got started is because the virtual reality and playing videos. This is how it happened. I have to show you who killed me. All of Atlanta's watching this tonight. Thank you. Daisy, you need to go to sleep because they're doing something with the EMF radiation and one of your telepathic channels to stop everybody from hearing this. And they're trying to tie everybody to you through a certain food that we all ate and bought from a certain type of market. Thank you. All right, sis. Hey, do you want to recap? Yeah, I'm gonna watch it right now because we have spiritual anatomy systems in space that we can watch. Who? And now you see what got started, algorithms playing number sequences. So we can invoke all of this. So Now, let's say for instance, like I wanted to play with the flower. I'm not gonna say any of them because I don't want them like going and picking flowers and starting molesting them and then mixing semen with flowers and talking about spiritual powers and then kids and drama. Right. So let's keep on moving forward. So we have these different algorithms now. Let me show you something about hashing and unhashing. So let's say, for instance, like I wanted to make algorithms. This is where chem comes in, algorithms. Like, okay, yeah. So an algorithm, I've written these before. I have some on my desktop. An algorithm can be x plus y equals z. Then, if z is greater than or equal to 100, z equals z divided by x to the power of 88, right? An algorithm. Now, let's say, for instance, encryption. I have my MAC address, my IP address, or I have a protocol that I want to encrypt. This is where the card payment system comes in. Like, how would you encrypt that so that they wouldn't try to hack it and stop it or put it on a list so the HTTP server wouldn't run it, which is how they broke a bunch of black and brown websites early on. A lot of code that you see, software, stuff like that, that's men that are in their 50s and 60s now that got disenfranchised in technology. They just don't even say anything. Whites stole all their work playing with that HTTP server, and they're watching this. Cool. It's cold. Baby, it's cold outside. Just get ready. So now let's get started with that. Let's say we wanted to play with that. Decrypting, encrypting, or decrypting. There's several. So from chem, there's I have encryption algorithms and then hashing algorithms, right? So encryption will be like I have this protocol, I have these lines of code or these files. I can put a file in the header or put the file itself on an encryption server so that that encryption is running to all aspects of the file. Who can access the file, right? Who can download the file? Who can do this? Who can do that? So this encryption algorithm, there's different ones. So for chem, there's chem. That's I have a string. This is how it would be in the TTY. So you guys can see it's natural language processing though. So it's how the language is processed attached to the macros, which would be like the chem. So in the days to come, I can start an algorithm. I type in chem and then boom, it populates the algorithm. And that's in an instant at 6,000 BPS. A FF algorithm is parsed into a code block and performs these 6 module and template functions of, let me get my module template functions cheat sheet out. Yeah, and now this is how people are going to get caught up in space. Like, oh, well, everyone has a fantasy about putting that into the computer, and they didn't know that this is how it was the whole entire time. That it's just black and brown people that can activate this. Okay, so then you can do it like this, and then you would have to go back and activate this. And this is where all the sellouts that want to go play. You're selling out people's projects. You're purposely getting on fake emails or LinkedIn's and reaching out to like white thieves and sending people's work in or GitHub repositories or making copies of people's repositories and sending it into white supremacists so they can steal their work. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, good luck. So now we're going to have modules here, right? So we have a module. Let's see. Okay. Right, a bunch of whores playing games like that and had no idea people knew what the fuck they were doing. How do they know that we lay eggs on planet Earth? What the hell? Oh, I didn't know that she was, like, watching all that. I was watching the whole entire time. These are, like, little hoes playing because these hoes that are playing with me on planet Earth right now, they're playing with my mom in space, right? So, also that's gonna be for some of you guys that know me, it's, something different, though, in space. It's like, the mother serpent, so they were playing with her in space, and they were trying to play with me, so, that's really disrespectful. You really are asking for trouble then, basically. So let me look for like a template or like a command or something like that. So let's say, for instance, like I have that, right? And template functions of, let's say, for instance, now I have Arduino. Hmm. Ooh, because then this will pull from any and all databases of any coding language. So ones that are not even out yet, I haven't even uploaded it here, and they're already using the commands. Yeah, that's what they were doing. It's coming up big in the Indian community with a lot of these like young men in college being disenfranchised and then trying to get a job and then working on projects where people that stole their projects are pointing their family to in their farms. Man, maybe you guys have to stop the drama. Okay, built-in functions, libraries, operators. Okay, variables, arrays, and data. Built-in functions. Okay, attach interrupter. This is like a frequency interrupter. Bits and bytes. Let me see. Pin in, pin out. No, that's not a really good explanation of some of the okay, let's look at here. Serial. Okay, serial begin. This is like where you're accessing a serial port on a Ethernet port in your TTY, right? So serial begin, serial print in, serial command handler. So I can take these from any language. So I can take this one, right, and say serial begin. So anytime I type this chem, it will pull out all of this and then start performing like the encryption on the string, or it will start to perform the encryption on the file, etc. So I can say like serial begin. Also too, because it's like encrypting something, I can say reverse function. hmm Reverse, right? I could say it's also reversing. Right? So serial begin wouldn't be like a really good example. That would be for like a different one, right? Where we can just put together different commands from existing languages, and then there it's already built in the module. So instead of me having to look for this shell block and this shell block and activate this language and activate that language, I can use this chem and do that. And that's why I haven't done that, because I don't want them in my computer at all. But then again, only we can activate it because you still need this. So now some of you guys are like, okay, but what if they go on your computer, they try to, and look at this with the 313. So now oh, you said your baby's birthday was 313? Oh, I'm sorry, it says 31/3. Okay, because we didn't have any babies born on that day. So is it 31st of March or what? Oh yeah, that's yeah, 31st of March. Oh, oops. So module template. This is like an encryption algorithm on a string. So I would say the parse command would be there. The um split command, append command, um allocate command, initialize, etc. Just like that. So now somebody's like, okay, but what if it's between Python or Golang or this and this and that? So let's say, for instance, like it's Golang that I'm using, different coding language, right? So they can play games and play with child pornography and play in the Spanish community. Hey, real talk, just be careful, okay? Okay, so let's say slices, like right after talks of slices and shards. So right, so now I have. um this chem. When I type this chem up, it will actually have like lines of code attached to it. Okay, there you go. So let's see, for instance, I want to use like functions. Hmm, no, it'll be like a standard library inside of Go. So I would have to find one. Maybe let me try NumPy. Okay, codes. This for building tensor spaces. So there could be something matrix, and then I could type something in where it will automatically convert uh, this into like some type of like matrix if I needed it to. So that's how it would go. So then there's Chem, there's Kiem, there's Kaim, still Chem, like it's Kaim. There's Kiem. There's Quem. This is where you start to get into deep algorithms. That means whole Department of Defense, all of our servers are out. And you need to tell me that Daisy has parsed every single file on our server up until the 1950s onto a completely different server and we can't reach it. Okay, I'm done. Right. Yes. So that's what you can do with this one. So good. Let them go have AI and that other basic shit that they were starting. Isn't that great? So now there's also like, let's say for instance, like you don't really need a crypto. You don't need all that because when you talk about cryptography, that's what this is. So really, what they're saying with cryptocurrency is that I've encrypted my network, so you don't know who is the head and who's the tail. Really, all I need to do is look into an IP or MAC address, or let me identify a white man that likes to play games, and I can tell you how quick I can decrypt that. So these are encryption algorithms. This right here, this Quem one is also like listen, I have two computers. Okay. One computer is running a specific encryption algorithm that's allowing me to take like 5% from every single debit card that has over a certain amount of number using SQL. The other computer is like constantly monitoring what the fuck you're doing on your phone, talking to your dad sexually. So I just wanted to let you know that. So Quem, that would be like Quem. You can do all that with Quem. And no one would see you in the financial system. Yikes. And then SQL. So SQL wildcards, right? So sounds like. So mm-hmm, mm-hmm. From there's a master routing number and then there's a state routing number, which is how Hello People got caught at playing games cyborg here. Mm-hmm. So sorry, I'm just stretching my body and my back. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hella holes scattered. Oakland just got hella quiet. I'm telling you, half the planet just felt something like leave their body. That's who was doing it the whole time. Holes that went to go play like that. Because they created slavery and all the civil wars that our people have had to endure. Select from, right? And then uh you could put where, oh, so you would put where, right? Where accounts underscore balance is greater than, greater than or equal to, because well now actually, right, I hated this part in math. How do you know if the alligator is eating or being eaten? Why are they eating each other anyways? This sounds like warfare that you want our federations to be involved in. Okay, but I'm a second grade teacher. Kusakwana, you guys can't keep punishing me because I'm teaching these kids these things. Okay, but I'm a math teacher. You guys have to understand I'm on the planet. Yeah. Yeah, smooth whoopings. Yeah. Why are you serving goat meat at your wedding? Yeah. Yeah. Whole farms being destroyed. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, where account balance is greater than or equal to 100 million cash. Fuck the feds. Yeah, we'll start there. They won't notice. Daisy took $1 million out of my account, and she then talked about it on YouTube, and she said to come and get it back from her if I can. I don't know, just let her have it. So, so the way that we would do this SQL, right? Select, you're doing this, da 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 da, right? And then you're doing all of that, right? And then you find out all of that, and then you can start performing transactions, because then you can move account underscore balance, routing underscore number, um or like you can even access card underscore number or whatever, but you already have an account balance. Move account balance at certain amount, right, to da 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 da, or this would just basically be you have this whole thing, and then you have the information that you need, and then you just set up a specific type of like code block to move money back and forth. Okay. So that's how you would do that. Now, let's say, for instance, some of you guys are like looking into the how to find people tutorial. I'm going to actually talk about that separately. But it will be something that you make something like this, but it's how the TTY is configured in space to be able to populate this straight from the consciousness of the person in space, or straight from the database in space of like missing people. They have a bunch of them in space. Well, finally, my family's going to find out what happened to me 40 years later. I'm still alive. This is great. Look at my sister. She has 3 kids. Wow. hmm Because of a lot of work that we've been doing exposing this clinical trial networks, there was niggas that kidnapped and they were 17 years old. I don't know. I think I'm like 30 or 40 now. Is my mom still alive? Oh my God. Can I go to school? I don't know. They were playing. It was something going on. They just came and got me and asked me if I knew a lady named Daisy. I don't know. I just kept on seeing this black lady and some fish. Oh, did you do magic to find me? That's okay, but be careful with that too. Right. I heard all kinds of things in there. I was looking for you guys. So we're going to talk about that tutorial. So now you guys have seen what they're looking for. Yes, somebody's seeing this, and you're seeing now what they thought they were going to start, and they're not about to start any of it. That's just done. Period. So okay, you guys, so that's what we have for today. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. And again, now you guys see like why we need to get together as a community so we can start putting these things out and working towards progress. All right, thank you. Bye.